One, you think it's strange that there's a way of how you looked and how you act and how you think. Pretend they're not the same as you. Do you know about her strength and convictions, or how she puts all her faith in religion? Did we take the time to really discover how little we know about each other? Keep us from saying anything, can't separate from everything, and all this really means is you're one in a crowd and you're paranoid of every sound. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode number 157. Find everything we do at nerdsgonerogue.com. We are live on Twitch only this week because Google Hangouts disappeared on us, and
we didn't figure it out.
Yeah, so, in typical 100% no planning, no pre-planning, we are doing it this way. So we're on Twitch only this week. Hopefully we'll figure something out before next week, but if we don't. Podcasts will still go up live every Monday like they've been doing for the past 3 years and change. And yeah, so I'm Matthew Keel. I'm at infinite_rewind everywhere you'd want to find me. Alongside me, only Corey this week, double legend. He is at CoreyInHD713 on Twitter. Corey in HD everywhere else except PlayStation, where he is Rogue Spartan 4. We are mooseless and fancy free.
Mooseless.
And
He left us. He left us.
He's doing work. He's doing work in Hotlando, so we're gonna let him do that.
No, he left us. He's gone.
Well, I didn't get that memo. That's a weird way to wake up on a Monday night. Am I right?
He's gone. Just kidding. So
we are also giving away a video game. It is called Astral Chain. Is the upcoming Square Enix Platinum Games joint. It's going to be released August 30th. We are giving it away August 26th. You might be asking yourself what you need to do to enter. Well, you need to A, subscribe to what we do, and B, email us at nerdsgonerogue@gmail.com a picture of your screenshot of your subscription. That's one way. If you want to get a second entry, you can write a review on us or write a review of us on any platform that you subscribe to. And if I remember correctly, Corey, if you subscribe to, you can get up to 4 entries. You might have to run me by that.
Yep. If you send us a screenshot of YouTube, Twitch, podcast service, and your rating and review of us on your podcast service of choice, that's 4 entries. So, if you only send us Twitch and YouTube, that's 2 entries. If you only send us your podcast service of choice and your review, that's 2. But if you add them all together and send them, it's 4. 4.
So you have 4 times the ability to win. My words are weird today. You have 4 chances to win.
Wording is hard, Matt.
It is, and I woke up, I ate, I've had a bunch of coffee, and I'm still not fully going yet. So
it happens, though. It happens to the best of us sometimes. Sometimes it's just yeah.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes he eats you, as Sam Elliott said in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, that movie was good.
I'm glad you think so. I'm totally not going to ask you any follow-up questions because you don't need to be punished anymore today.
I know it has something to do with milk, bowling, and the Eagles. That's all I know about that movie. That's
I
all
don't
I know
where you
about
got,
that
I don't know
movie.
where you got milk from, but
I don't either. It's you know what?
I mean,
That's what I know about that movie, and if milk doesn't exist in that movie, then I have been lied to.
well,
So.
I don't really think you've been lied to. I think you might have someone who told you something might have mistaken because the opening scene I believe he opens up half and half at a supermarket and takes a drink of it.
Maybe that's it.
And half and half, some places the containers look the same, so unless you're getting a gallon, which if you're getting a gallon of half and half, I don't know what your problem is. But so yeah, we're here. It's Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 157. And you know what? We're here again where we had problems. We're here again in so many ways. We had problems trying to figure out how to set up tonight, but we got set up on time.
We're here.
That's a good thing. We're here again.
We did.
Also, we're here again that video games are the problem with society again. Because we had, I think, 5 mass shootings since our last show?
Please, I don't want to.
No.
I know, but I just
like I know that you're like not one to dabble in the politics.
No, I mean that's not 100% true. I said my fair share of stuff last week that people got mad at, but
sure. But this is becoming, this is like the 90s when disco made a comeback. This is, last decade when everyone was obsessed with the 80s all over again. And it's been about 20 years since a lot of those California legislators really made their hard run at getting video games banned, and so I guess it's about time for that to happen. So I guess the fact that we're still here to exist in it, I guess it sort of says, hey, at least we weren't some sort of flash in the pan. I don't know. But I love that politicians at whatever level of government can come out and say shit when there is complete hard scientific facts and research and data that disproves all the bullshit that they say. But when does that matter? Because I think we have a president that ran on a platform of lies, all of which were disproven in real time, and
no.
So,
did you hear today that he said he felt sorry for the people of Toledo? And it's not even where one of the mass shootings happened.
Yeah, it was in Dayton.
Yeah. By the way, people who don't live in Ohio, those are two cities that almost couldn't be farther from each other.
Yeah, they're not near each other.
They're like 3.5 hours away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, oh boy. I before I was aware of the world.
When you were a young lad?
Well, a little bit of background on me. I was a truck driver for 10 years, and I didn't do over the road where I was driving across the country. I was local, and the first person I met from Spain, like we were at a stop one day waiting to dock and everything, and so usually if you have 2 truck drivers that are waiting to dock, you step out, you just have a chat. Anyway, he said he was from Toledo, and I said, I used to live in Ohio, and he's like, no, Toledo, Spain.
Ooh.
And I'm like, wait, what? And and he's like, it's actually pronounced Toledo, and I'm like, oh, well, you should have led with that. I would have not. I would have been like, where's Toledo at? And then in 2009, I would actually go to Spain and actually walk through Toledo, and it's actually a beautiful fucking town. But so yeah.
Yep.
So I like to know that 20 some odd years ago, I'd already learned something about the world that our president still hasn't fucking figured out.
Yeah.
So,
that guy, he's a piece of work.
How was your week, Corey?
It was all right.
Took a bit of shit on Twitter, I saw.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, whatever. I am aware that I like certain people that some people don't, and that's fine. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't feel like I have to defend myself for enjoying someone's content who some people find controversial.
Yeah.
So I just think whatever. I don't know. I don't really want to get into it, but it just yeah. But other than that, my week was good. Played a lot of video games. Played.
Cool.
We went to this weekend. We went to the Akron Heritage Festival, which I don't know. It's just a parade.
What's the newest, latest in the heritage of Akron?
Well, it's more like the school that's here that we live by. It was the Copley Heritage Festival. It's like where like all their sports teams and cheerleaders and band do a parade, and the fire trucks come through and throw candy out to the kids and stuff like that kind of.
Oh, they're still throwing candy in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you guys.
Yeah, it was great.
Can't do that anymore.
I got me some footsies. You know what footsies are?
Awesome. Yeah, I do.
Footsies are amazing. So I got some of those. And then the day before that, we went to the Lebanese Heritage Festival.
Oh, there you go.
Which was awesome. The girl who was singing was absolutely amazing. She was like, man, I hope somebody put that on YouTube so she can be discovered, because she was pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Nice.
We had some good food there too.
Cool.
So some shawarma.
Shawarma's good.
It is good.
Shawarma is good.
Pita.
Yeah, some hummus.
Hummus, fries.
Sure.
Yeah. Because
I mean, I feel like if Chris Har were watching us right now, he'd probably be screaming at us. Just because that's where he's at.
Yeah.
But,
I can hear him.
Yeah. So that's what that is. So, anything else?
What else did we do? Well, my parents came over for a little bit, so that was another thing that happened. Hi, Mom. Probably watching. Maybe not. I don't know. My mom.
How are Mommy and Daddy Dierig?
They're great. She tries to tune in once in a while, but she doesn't know how the internet works. So, every like 2 or 3 weeks, even though you have to do the exact same thing, she asks how you do it. So
sure.
I was like, I can just download the podcast automatically for you if you really want to listen to it. She's like, no, I want to watch you guys. I'm like,
as someone who is getting older, I find routine sort of helps reinforce things. So she just needs to develop the routine.
Yeah.
And the only way maybe her routine is she has to ask her son.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever. She brought us some food, so that was all right, and some beverages for our upcoming vacation.
Cool.
So there's that, and then we've been playing.
When do you guys leave?
Thursday. What's today? Monday? Thursday.
Today's Monday.
Yes. Still Monday.
Still Monday.
Yep. Some people say, if you're an optimist, you say it's only Monday. No.
Who the fuck says that?
I don't know. Someone who's excited for Mondays.
Weird.
Jeff Gersman. Oh man.
Well, it's funny you bring up. Like, I've always been the guy who didn't hate Mondays. I always hated Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays are kind of the worst, because like Monday's like, okay, it's the beginning of the week, I can deal with it. It's the beginning of the week. Wednesdays, you're like, okay, this is hump day. Thursday, you're like, tomorrow's Friday. And then when Friday comes around, you're like, oh man, it's Friday. Tuesday, it's like the day that you can't really rationalize why it's Tuesday or like anything upcoming. You're like, oh, 4 days till the weekend.
It's like on some way, shape, or form, you probably took a beating on Monday, and then you haven't even really recovered, and they're just going to come at you for round 2 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But also, when I worked at Tower Records, like, I hated New Release Day, and New Release Day was always Tuesday then.
Yeah.
There was just so much bullshit. Yeah. So much. So I'm gonna give viewers and listeners a bit of a peek under the hood. This weekend, I asked my co-hosts for their address, and Corey and I have a long-running feud where we won't give each other our addresses because we're afraid that the other is going to send us a gift that we are too proud to accept.
True.
I feel like that's the easy way to sum it up.
Yep, probably the easiest way.
The correct way is probably we're just fucking childish. But the reason I asked for your address, Corey, isn't because I want to send you something. I don't want to surprise you with the Ninja Turtle T-shirt like I did the other year.
I do have a feeling I know what it's for, but it's the happenings after that you're just gonna have my address on file in case you want to send us something.
Well, I'm pretty sure at least at no less than 15 different points, Moose has sent me his address, and it'll just disappear in the ether.
I know. Well, I have your other address, but you moved since you gave me it, so
yeah. The reason I asked for your address, I wanted to send you an announcement that Reba and I have eloped.
Ooh.
So I am married now.
Yay! Right?
Yeah, no, that you can yay.
Yay.
Yay's fine. Yay's okay.
Sometimes people get married for different reasons, and that story can be for a different day. But
no, we are not. We did not trap each other. Or at least I'm pretty sure she didn't trap me. Either that, or she's done a really good job couching everything in warmth.
You will marry me, or you will regret it.
I've been on the end of that one, and I've not regretted it. But yeah, no, we've married for a bit already. We just haven't told anybody. We had to make sure we, sat down with our respective families and let them know before I sort of went public. So like my family knows, her family knows, and now I am shouting into the ether that is the internet that Reba has become my wife against her better judgment. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, Reba.
Corey says he's sorry, Reba.
You're stuck now. I'm stuck too.
He's stuck too. So both of you got the weird Matley transmitted disease. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well.
So yeah, that happened. We also went to my best friend's baby shower because they are about to have a kid. In fact, they are due the same day that Astral Chain releases, so that'll be interesting. That's a video game, Reba, but don't worry about it. So that's what we did this weekend. That and finished writing out people's addresses on envelopes, one of which I still need, Corey.
You'll get it at some point.
Okay. Corey's going to get
not live on the internet, but
not live on the no, come on. We are not crazy here. Well, not that crazy.
I mean, so okay. Back to my weekend real quick. Speaking of people who know where I live. I'm connecting this. Okay.
All right.
I went to Aldi. After the festival, we didn't feel like cooking, so I just ran out and my wife was like, just go get us some food or something. So we got one of those Aldi oven baked pizzas, which are amazing.
Delicious. Yeah, they're really good.
We got that supreme one with pepperoni and the sausage and the peppers and onions and cheese, like flavor blasted. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then after it was done, I put some Parmesan cheese and some crushed red pepper on it.
Doing it right, yeah.
It was awesome. I didn't take my phone in because I was only going in for like 5 minutes. Guess who's walking around Aldi?
Deshaun.
Yep.
No shit.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So saw him again. That guy. He's everywhere, man. Guy's everywhere.
I'm waiting for him to. I'm waiting for you to the point where you guys just meet up, right? Where you just run into each other regularly.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm gonna have some homework for you this week on the podcast."
I know. He's like, I told him, I was like, well, I think it's just gonna be me and Matt for a while because Moose is working on stuff. He's like, it's all right. I'll lob you an easy one this week. I'm like, okay.
Oh, good old Deshaun.
Yeah.
Good old
Cool
Deshaun.
dude. Let me tell you, cool dude.
Yeah. He is like I'm not been fortunate as you to talk to him in person, but having him email and just interact with the way he has. Like,
when you live in the same town as someone, it's easier to interact with somebody than it is to 8 hours away, except for the internet.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes Jason lives literally 20 minutes away, and it is impossible for us to get together. And not Jason Marshall from Nerds Gone Platinum. I'm talking about my best friend, Jason. But because Jason Marshall is in Jersey, he's a couple hours away.
He's somewhere. Everybody is somewhere.
You are somewhere.
That's deep. If I was 21 with a guitar at
and a weird infatuation with
in a college quad
Jack Johnson.
somewhere. Everyone's somewhere.
We're in the quad today.
With my sandals and my ponytail, my tie-dye t-shirt.
Who the hell are you? The t-shirt you're from Beavis and Butthead? What's going on right now?
Maybe. You don't know.
Sure. I don't. So, what do you say we get to game time, Corey?
I guess we can. We're 20 minutes into the episode. We might as well, right?
Well, see, the way I see it, I give everybody that has told me they've listened to the show that are not into video games, I give them the 20 minutes. I give them a sitcom episode of just banter between all of us, and then once we actually talk about video games, they tune the hell out. Like my mother said this, my sister said this, Reba said this, because they don't do the games, and that's fine. I'll just start because I've not played anything new. I have had another full week of being on my bullshit, and I'm happy about it. So,
you know what? You be happy about it,
dude. I can't. I'm in a rich vein of my addiction to Binding of Isaac again, and that game is so much fun. Anyway, what have you been playing? Because I know you've been playing that Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, playing a lot of Fire Emblem.
A game that I am super the more I hear about this game, I'm like, why the hell am I not playing this game?
If you like Persona in any way, and if you like anime in any way, shape, or form, you should be playing this game.
I mean, I do like Persona. I've dabbled in the anime. I'm not going to say I'm a fan, but that's actually not true. I like the art of the anime. I like looking at those pictures. Some of those stories, I don't care how hard you want to sell me, they are not good. Some of them are all right.
Yeah.
And then there are a few that are really, really good, but I'm more a fan of the visual aesthetic than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's the latest in the world of Three Houses?
Well, let me tell you what's about to happen in Three Houses. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what I would call this guy. I guess you have the headmaster. She's like the head priestess of the monastery, but she's like basically the headmaster of the school, right? And then you have her little assistant guy. I'm really bad with names, so I don't really remember his names. But the spoilers for the game 15 hours in, which I'm still in chapter 1, so plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. The mission structure is set up to where you are.
I knew that would work. Mission structure is set up how?
Where you have like a main mission every month, and you have the whole month to prep for this mission. So you instruct your students, and like probably I think after chapter 1 there's like a 5-year gap to where your students actually become like military or something, but I'm not there yet. I'm still at the school. So you are teaching your students skills, and like you have them focus on certain things, like sword and shields or giant axes, or I just got a intermediate pass for someone to learn how to ride a horse while
Awesome.
wielding a javelin. So
Double awesome.
that's pretty cool. I'm also training some people to learn how to fly on a Pegasus style animal or dragons, depending on what you choose. So there's that aspect, but so you kind of give them different disciplines to focus on, and then you can either do practice battles on Saturdays, or walk around the monastery and have conversations with them to build your social links, or you could do training within the monastery. You can set them up through tournaments, like every month there's a specific tournament that you can enter one of your students in. There's a dining hall which you can cook or share a meal with them to build your social links. You can invite characters to tea time to romance them.
Yeah.
Which the romance stuff doesn't really start till after they graduate, because it's student teacher weird stuff.
Sure.
Maybe
It is anime.
although everybody in this game, it seems more like a college situation than a middle school, high school situation.
Okay.
So it's not as weird, and you're
So
about the same
we're
age.
We're not really straddling the age of consent.
Well,
right?
you're a professor at this school, but you're kind of forced into the role, and you're like about the same age as the kids. So I mean, it's like whatever. It's not important. So
Right.
tea time is very important though, and you have to ask the right questions, and you have to get your charm up with your companion, and then your social bond builds, and then you get ranked like C, B, A, S, and then S is the like where you can expand onto romancing them. So yeah, Fire Emblem's a great game. It's a fantastic game. I'm having a lot of fun with that
Cool.
Fire Emblem.
Cool.
I wasn't sure at first because it's totally different from the 3DS ones. At least Awakening and Fates, which are the ones that I played the most of. I didn't really care for Echoes all that much. But this is a console-ass RPG. And
Okay.
it's they say minimum 70 hours per house. And I could see somebody spending at least double that within one campaign, and there's 3, so
Yeah.
it's cool. I do like the house I chose first though. They're
The
like,
Black Eagles, right?
yeah, there's a lot of different political aspects to each house, and you kind of see the story through the lens of that house, and then the story kind of unfolds. The Black Eagles are actually the spoilers, I guess, but Black Eagles are actually the only house with 2 paths, so there's actually 4 campaigns.
Okay.
So if you want to, they at the end of chapter 1 is where the split is for the 2 Black Eagles campaigns. So you gotta really make sure you pay attention though.
What would you say? What would you say the politics of this game are? Like, what would you say the political viewpoint of the Black Eagles are?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to judge at this point because all the leaders of each house are the heirs to their respective empires, and one seems kind of democratic in a way, which are the Blue Lions, and then the yellow or the Golden Deer. That guy kind of seems like he flies by the seat of his pants and kind of is figuring everything out on the fly, and Then the Black Eagles are kind of more of a broken dystopian dictatorship where the leader of the house wants to change the perception of the region she's from by she's the heir to the throne, so she's going to be, well, I guess it's more of a monarchy than a dictatorship, but she's going to be the queen at some point, and she wants to kind of move it more towards a democratic style republic, and she doesn't really know how to do that since she's in her, like, I don't want to spoil her story because her story is actually really fascinating on how she became the heir to the throne. It's actually quite dark, and one of the students is her kind of like her bodyguard, and he's very dark as well. Like, he's like the emo goth kid of the class, but he's like all about protecting her. Even it doesn't matter the cost at protecting her. So it's quite fascinating, and she wants to change the perception because the area that she's from is very dark and very if you do something wrong, you're pretty much dead style thing, and she wants to change that perception. So it's actually quite interesting. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. On vacation, I'm taking my Switch with me. I probably play quite a bit on vacation, so I've been playing a lot of that, but I've also been playing a few other things. Played a little bit more Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's man, I wish you could turn the motion blur stuff on the Switch version, because it's like they have the motion blur so it feels faster than it really is, and it does not make you feel great after a while. I mean, I like it, but I wish you could just turn it down a little bit. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really enjoying it as much as I would have hoped to. I don't know. Maybe I don't think it's the platform I'm playing it on, because I played Doom and Wolfenstein 2 on Switch and it was fine. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just different. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the light RPG elements in the game either. But everything just feels tougher. Like, the movement feels slightly off. I don't know. It's just strange. So. Yeah. But I also got back into some Apex Legends and played a little bit of Fortnite with Jesse this weekend. Apex Legends, man.
It's a good game.
It's a great game. I kind of wish I didn't stop playing that game, but it's a fantastic game. We almost won at one point, and like we got stuck. There's like this area of the map where there's we used to go up there and kind of hide from people because there's all kinds of boxes and stuff that you could hide behind, and we had a giant kind of what's the shield guy's name on our team, but
Gibraltar.
Yeah, we had a Gibraltar on our team, so I was up there as lifeline, and but they took all the boxes out in the overhead covering, so like it's just an easy point for people to snipe now. And like we went up there because we didn't really know the new map stuff yet, and it was just a bad decision, and we all died. But Apex Legends, great game.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
So good. It's so good. But that's kind of all I've been playing, really. It's mostly just been Fire Emblem. I wanted to play something else just so I had something else to talk about, because I know Fire Emblem is going to be the game that I talk about the most for a while, but I can't get away from it, man. It's so good.
That's all right. I mean, that's sort of the beauty of us not being, super zeitgeisty.
Yeah.
Just because we take the time to play what keeps us keeps us entertained, rather than searching to comment on the newest latest.
Yeah.
I mean, truth be told, I tried to start Bloodstained this week. I tried, but then I saw Binding of Isaac right next to it, And I'm like, I think I could beat Mom's heart again. Spoiler alert, I did. But
of course you did. Why wouldn't you? Of course you did.
Well, I mean,
you did.
Well, I mean, I ended up getting a couple of trophies on PS4, which was nice. But I'm trying to actually work on the long-term stuff in that game. Like I'm trying to get even further than I have, and I feel like I'm actually getting good at that game again. Not like, there's some people that there's one guy on YouTube. His name is Sinvicta. I think he and Northern Lion are probably the two best Binding of Isaac players that I've watched personally. But Sinvicta does Eden streaks. Now, when you beat the game the first time, you're given an Eden token. And an Eden token is you have this token that you can use this character, whose name is Eden. And how that works is they are completely randomly generated. Their stats are randomly generated, and their item that you could start with is randomly generated. So you basically, it's like the purest RNG of that game. And you just go. His streak count is up over 1,000. So he's beaten that game with Eden 1,000 times in a row.
That's a lot of times.
I mean, and watching him talk, watching him like go through like his playthrough, and there are some times where he just completely veers off and just goes on a rant about something without losing a beat in the game, or he'll sort of give you his decision making, process, which is something I find super fascinating. But then when I try and go to my own playthrough and apply all that, I realize that there are certain items that he has access to because he's beaten the game so many times with everybody, I think. That only after you've done certain tasks do you unlock it. So there's a lot that I just haven't unlocked. So I sit there and try and think of how can I use that? And I'm like, oh, wait, I can't yet. So yeah. I'm trying to check off boxes in that game. Before I got started there, I think it sounded like you were about to mention something else.
Oh, I was just gonna say I also played a little bit more of Mutant Year Zero on Switch because there was a little patch that went through and it runs much better.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Which is it's sad because I thought the game got delayed because I wanted to play Fire Emblem, so I just okay, well, I have some Nintendo eShop card stuff, I'll just get it, and then I'll pre-purchase it, and then when it comes out, I'll get it, and then it came out literally 3 days after Fire Emblem, and I'm like, well, back burner, I guess, but that game is a cool strategy game.
Okay.
It's more XCOM-y than straight up grid based strategy like Fire Emblem, but it also has a world exploration element to it where it's not just you go back to a hub world and choose your mission from there. You actually can explore the areas and find scrap to upgrade your weapons and armor and stuff, and you have to be really tactical to the point where you actually have to sneak up on enemies and take them out before they see you, or more enemies will actually come if you don't kill them right away.
Yeah, I've heard that. Because I've heard if people try and play that like XCOM, they just die.
Yeah, it's really tough. But it's a cool game. I want to keep playing it, but I might have to wait because of Fire Emblem. But I think that's going to be the game I play next, to be 100% honest with everybody. It's I like it a lot. So.
Yeah. Well, and Switch was also given, speaking of Switch, it was also, Pillars of Eternity is coming out on Switch.
Mm-hmm. Both of 1 and 2, both are.
Yeah, and I'm like there was talk that was too massive to run on consoles, like it eventually did, but that's a game I want to play next year. So hopefully it runs well on Switch. But
Yeah.
apparently that's coming out.
Well, so is the Outer Worlds and The Witcher. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, look, this is the year that deems whether or not everything should be on Switch. I'm just calling it
I mean,
right now.
yeah. If the Witcher 3 runs, I don't want to say well.
If it runs at all, if it runs smooth,
if it runs to the point where like somebody like me who doesn't really care about a lot of the things that people just bitch and moan about, if it runs.
Oh, you mean you don't care what other people have to say sometimes?
No. Well, it's not that, but it's just some people like they see the tiniest texture pop in, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, game runs like shit."
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, "Nah, that's just one. That's just one thing."
That's how I feel about Wolfenstein Youngblood. Is like, it's clearly not going to be like I can already hear Phillips right now just screaming at us because I'm playing Wolfenstein on Switch instead of PC.
Yeah, but
I don't mean that like a derogatory way. I'm just saying I can hear him. I can hear him in our Facebook chat. Like, why are you playing that on that instead of that PlayStation or Xbox at least?
Well, I remember when I got an external hard drive for my PS4, and he's like, "Oh, what'd you get?" I go, "I got this one." He's like, "Well, how fast does it spin?" I'm like, "What the hell do you mean?"
I know.
and he's like, "Well, how many RPMs is it?" And I don't remember what it is now, but I told him, and he's like, "You see, this is why I fucking yell, because you're doing it wrong." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I don't."
Look, my external hard drive for my Xbox is the Xbox branded Seagate one, and the external one I have for my PlayStation is the PlayStation branded Seagate one. And you know what? I say, hey, if that has a PlayStation logo on it, it probably works on my PlayStation. So I'm just gonna hook that right in there. And
these are things that I want to know more about. But it's trying to learn about these things is very similar to where you've only listened to pop music and you're like, oh, I want to get into jazz. Well, unfortunately, there's 100+ years of jazz music out there, and it's a very daunting thing, and it's so there's so much of it that it's just like, you know what? I don't know where to start, and then you just back away. It's too many. It's an intimidating amount of options. So yeah, sure, you might yell because you know a thing or two, but I don't. I'm a very average consumer, and when I went to buy one, I said external hard drive to go with PS4. 2 terabytes goes to the PS4. Done.
Man, good times. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Good times. Good times, everybody.
But getting back to big games running on the Switch. I mean, at least we don't walk into this with distorted expectations, because I feel like there are probably some out there that'll be like, "Oh, Witcher 3's coming to Switch. That means the Switch is the best console of all time," without taking into account how it runs. Or
look, if The Witcher looks decent and runs decent on Switch, good for them, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I'm sure there's an audience out there that will buy it on Switch and play it there and complete it there without even thinking about it on Xbox or PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I own the complete edition on Xbox, but the fact that I can play it in the car or going somewhere or in bed, a little tantalizing,
pretty enticing, yeah.
And like the Outer Worlds for sure is like, that game's coming to Switch.
Yeah.
Wonder how that's gonna go.
I'm genuinely excited about that game. Like, Switch or no Switch.
I know. I
wish
watched
the Outer Wilds was coming to PS4, or at least I wish someone knew about that.
It will at some point, but
it probably will a year from now.
Yeah. But I watched that Giant Bomb Unfinished of the Outer Worlds, and I'm just like, that game looks really good. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Matt's looking intensely at his computer.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just got an alert about people talking about Trump again.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that.
You have alerts for that? I'd shut that shit down.
It's a Facebook thing. Someone tagged me in something about Trump blaming video games. All right, let's switch tacks here. We're gonna go to the fun part of the show. Questions.
I like fun parts.
Yes, I bet you do. I've heard that about you.
Yeah, my hips hurt. What? Different
problem. So if you want your questions answered on the show, there are several ways. You can join our Discord. Go
something.
Get the app. Search for Nerds Gone Rogue. It finds us. You want to know why? Because I've done it. You can join our Facebook community, which is facebook.com/groups/Nerds Gone Rogue community. That's where a lot of cool people are. You can also email us, nerdsgonerogue@gmail.com. You can tweet at us, @nerdsgonerogue, or if you want to do it on Instagram, we can do that too. We can swing that way, @nerdsgonerogue_official. This week we start things off. Man, my words still aren't good.
Words happen.
With Patient Zero of Nerds Gone Rogue, Megan Green. Hey boys. I was just wondering if you could collect for any console, what you would collect for. Would you collect everything, or just the good collection of games? So, if I were to collect for any console, I think I would probably stick to the good stuff, or the stuff that I would want to play regularly. I think the system I would collect for would probably be Nintendo, the NES, and I would also collect, like, I'd like to get a working Rob the Robot. I'd get a Power Glove. I'd get a light gun, and I would probably need a CRT to actually play that stuff, but I would get the good games that I liked. I probably wouldn't complete that collection or go for the complete library because.
Oh, why not? You don't want all 713 NES games?
No.
You don't want the Adventures of Tom Sawyer, because you can have my copy if you want it.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Man, that game.
But I would probably get like a good smattering of, like, quote unquote masterpiece games, and I would actually like some of the curiosities that are on that system. Like there's a game that I genuinely love on that system that is just really weird, but it's called Gumshoe. Did you ever play that game?
Nope, I've never even heard of it. So.
Okay, so it's a light gun game, but it's also kind of a platformer. But what you have to do is you have to shoot your character to get him to move around the screen. And it's really it's really weird. And I remember my Uncle John, he could sit down and just beat that game. Like he would be like, yeah, you want to see this game? I know how to beat it. And my cousin JR and I just watched him do it. Took him about 45 minutes. And we're like, wow, so that's how you play this game. And then, but yeah, I would get a good amount of solidly reputable games, as well as some of the more curious ones. Like I'd probably get the sentimental ones too, like the first 3 Dragon Warrior games, which my mom and I played together. I would love to see my mom play Tetris again, so that would be cool. Yeah, that's how I would collect it. What about you, Corey?
I don't know. I read this question earlier, and I was trying to figure out, because, like, I don't know. I really like Nintendo 64 and GameCube almost equally.
Yeah, GameCube is a close second on that one.
Yeah, I think just because, like...
# bring back Eternal Darkness, goddammit.
man. That's, I'm just happy we're getting a sequel to Luigi's Mansion, first of all. That's the first step. So, I think I would go with GameCube just because that console like edges out a little bit more in terms of like what I enjoy, like single player stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas GameCube or N64 was a lot of multiplayer memories that like, maybe I don't have the time to amass 4 friends to come over and play, some GoldenEye or Perfect Dark or the weird Donkey Kong 64 multiplayer that exists some way. But that there's a lot of stuff on GameCube that I really love. It has 2 of my, well, actually it probably has, let's see, I don't know. I really love the GameCube. It has 2 of my favorite Zelda games. It has Luigi's Mansion. It has Pikmin. It has, a really
Pikmin
good...
debuted on that system, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out. It was like a couple weeks after Smash, I think. It was like Luigi's Mansion. At launch, I remember at launch I got Luigi's Mansion and Tony Hawk 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up getting Smash and Pikmin for Christmas that year. So, not too far behind those games. So, Sunshine is still a Mario game that exists. I don't really know if it holds up like I think it does. Games I haven't played in a while. The situations where you're like, oh man, that game was awesome. And then you go back and play it and you're like, maybe it's not so awesome. That's kind of where I'm at with Sunshine. I'm just like, I remember enjoying this game. Let's just leave it at that. So, there's that part of it. And then there's a lot of cool, like, interesting games, like Extreme G is on that platform. And, some really good RPGs like Tales of Symphonia and Skies of Arcadia Legends. And Batten Kaitos is a weird thing that happened on there.
Yeah.
There's a version of Advance Wars on there called Battalion Wars, which is interesting. Animal Crossing debuted on there, so it plus a lot of weird Dreamcast ports that made it over after Dreamcast died. So it's a good little system. Plus it has a Game Boy player, which found the disc to my Game Boy player. Now I can play Game Boy Advance games on my TV anytime I want, if I hooked it up.
Awesome.
Yeah, the 6 Game Boy Advance games I own.
Yeah.
1 really weird Kingdom Hearts game, 2 Zelda games, and 3 Mario games.
Yeah.
And a really weird version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Oh boy.
That was a weird one.
The GameCube was a cool system, but like I feel like going back to Sunshine now after did you play Odyssey?
I did. Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was fine. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't know. I still think like 2D Mario games are better than the 3D ones for me personally. Like I didn't finish Galaxy or Galaxy 2 because I just was like, I don't really get it. Like
okay.
I mean, I the going upside down and changing gravity stuff really threw me off. I just didn't care, and Sunshine was not Mario 64 2, which I hoped it was, so like took me a while to get acclimated to that as well.
Yeah. Well, I think Sunshine, I feel like there's a lot more Sunshine in modern Mario games, especially Odyssey and 3D World.
Yeah. See, I really loved 3D World.
Yeah, me too. And I think that's there's a lot of that comes from Sunshine. But I also like that Sunshine is like it's this weird left turn.
Yeah.
It's very much like the Super Mario. It's Super Mario 2 for or for Super Mario 64. Very much like.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too is like the GameCube was like it did a lot of interesting experimental things because they didn't want to do the same old as the N64. Like you got like Sunshine to Mario 64, you got Metroid Prime, which was turned Metroid into a first person game, which was interesting. You got Luigi's Mansion, which was like this weird spin-off game that nobody wanted because it wasn't the Mario game they wanted. You got Wind Waker, which wasn't Ocarina of Time in better graphics, you know.
And which people were pissed about.
I know. And then people got Twilight Princess, which was the game they wanted, and then they ended up liking Wind Waker a lot better, you know, and which is, you know, I don't know, you know, what revisionist history is on that, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't like the way Wind Waker looked at first. You know?
No, I didn't either.
I wanted that trailer. I wanted that cool trailer they showed off at the at Space World that year with the CG Ocarina of Time Link fighting Ganon. You know?
I mean, there was probably part of me that was super angry about that because I wasn't. I mean, I think if I was paying attention to video games as much as I am now, I probably would have been one of the folks going, "What the hell, Nintendo?" And then even as I was buying Wind Waker for GameCube, I'm like, this is probably going to be so lame.
I literally only bought Wind Waker because if you pre-ordered it, you got the Ocarina of Time Master Quest disc.
Oh, okay.
And that was like one of the only ways you could get that. And I'm like, well, I like Ocarina of Time, so I want to play the Master Quest.
Yeah, I think I ended up getting a used copy of that and I'm playing it on my Wii. But yeah, once I actually just sort of took all of my own. Once I sort of divorced myself from my preconceived notions for the game, I learned a lesson with Wind Waker that, you know, I've found myself relearning throughout my life because that wasn't the first time I learned it. But if you go at something for what it is versus what you want, those experiences are vastly different.
Yeah.
Because if you're just projecting expectations the entire time, you find yourself disappointed. Whereas wait and see what's presented and react to what's there rather than what you want to be there. And that's one of the lessons that I find coming more in handy now in video games than I've ever had before. I find it coming in handy in just about every aspect of my life in some way, shape, or form. So. And Wind Waker's easily one of the best Zelda games now. Like,
right.
I mean, even when they fixed it for Wii U, like it was still phenomenal.
Yeah. That Wii U version is amazing, and like, It just sucks. Like, it really sucks that like Wind Waker is stuck on the two worst selling Nintendo consoles ever. Not that like. I mean, GameCube didn't sell that terribly, but it's still, like, bottom tier in terms of sales, you know? And then the Wii U, like, it just sucks that game is stuck. If they would have... I still think that game's coming back out on Switch at some point.
I feel like they're going to keep the Switch around for a lot longer.
Yeah.
I think that they might keep it around as long as they seem to keep the Wii around for a long time.
The Wii was only out for 6 years?
Only 6 years?
Yeah.
Felt like forever.
They delayed the Wii U 1 year because the Wii was selling so well.
Okay.
And, because every Nintendo console, like home console, has been 5 years. The NES was 5 years before the Super Nintendo, then the N64, then GameCube. GameCube was only on the market for 4 years before the Wii came out.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's... I don't know, man. I think the Switch is doing something that maybe even Nintendo didn't expect to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the console that everybody wants, and I don't think anybody knows what they would want from Nintendo now other than a device that does both, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna, if they ever go back to just one or the other, it's not gonna end up what they want.
I can see it going poorly.
Yeah. I think giving you an option of the Switch and now the Switch Lite and the main console, the main unit being more of like an iPad type thing where like, every 2 or 3 years you get an upgraded version of the internals that makes things run more stable or whatever. But like, you're clearly always going to be able to run Nintendo games on it, but it's everything else that, you got to worry about. But
like I could see, I feel like if I were in sort of power at the company, I would be like, look, this is our DS at this point. Like this is our handheld system.
mm-hmm.
And maybe we should work. I mean, and, you could keep the Joy-Con separation for those who want to just play that on TV, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I think that I could, if it were me, I would say like let's develop a stronger home console only at this point. But there's not really a need for that.
Yeah, I mean,
now,
if Nintendo was to go back to a home console only style thing, they would have to make a powerful PS5/Xbox Scarlet style console to compete with them, and they would have to do their online stuff just like them and everything, to the point where it's like, it would basically just be a PlayStation 5 that played Nintendo games almost at that point. So that's what they would need if they if they went back to just home console, and I don't think Nintendo really cares to do that. So.
Okay, so we have veered off.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you for getting us to that tangent, Megan. Love you always. Greg Osterman III. How have your gaming habits changed over the last few years? What is your dream gaming scenario that if you were allowed or could do, what would it be? Any snacks, drinks, solo or with a friend, partner, surround sound, or headphones? Thanks for the show. No, Greg Osterman, thank you for writing in.
Thank you for the show.
So my gaming habits, I guess if you want to talk about changes over the last few years, I've been doing a lot more. I've done a lot more indies than AAAs, which is a thing I do not regret one bit. Now, if I were, what is my dream scenario that if I were allowed or could do, what would it be? Go with me on this one, Corey.
I'm here. I'm strapped in for the ride. Ready to see where it goes.
Hang on, I have to sneeze.
Kazoo tight.
Pardon me. I would actually do. I would actually take away the ability to get fatigued for like a weekend, and as long as I don't know, I would like to have a bunch of people over and play games together, be it single player, multiplayer, but several folks that just wanted to play games. That's what I would do. Now, through that, we'd probably need drinks and snacks. I would probably an assortment of alcoholic and non-alcoholic because, different times call for different things. And
that's not true.
Several controller-friendly snacks, so no one's getting grease everywhere.
No Cheetos.
Yeah.
No Doritos.
Right. No Mountain Dew. And then I wouldn't really use headphones in that particular scenario because I'd want us all to be able to communicate about the games you're playing. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would like to just have a nice long session of playing games with people. in the same room. That's what I would like.
That's very different from what I want to do. I mean, for me, like, I mean, it's been very hard to get, decent game time, and because of, wife, baby, life, whatever, it's why, like, when people ask me why I play certain games on the Switch, well, that's why, because we're always watching something on TV. I always have to pause something to, make sure the baby doesn't stand on her chair to climb up on the entertainment center and fall off and break her face, right? Like, I have to make sure that kid survives for another 17 and a half years, right? Like, it's probably longer. I don't know. Some people say they kick kids out at 18, but that's never gonna happen. So
not anymore. That's not happening anymore.
So I mean, if we're sitting here watching TV, I usually let my wife watch whatever she wants to watch, and like I'll half pay attention if I'm interested, but I'll play Switch and play with the baby, right? So the Switch is kind of like my go-to at this point. Even at night when I'm falling asleep, I'll turn on Giant Bomb Premium and just play my Switch while I watch that, because the Xbox has a Giant Bomb app on it.
Word.
Which is pretty nice. But my perfect video game day setup thing, like, nobody bother me by myself with some pizza and some snacks and just maybe some Chipotle. I don't know, all of it.
Yeah.
Get a burrito for lunch and pizza for dinner. Sounds real bad for you, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Look, man, I had chicken and asparagus for dinner. Okay, everything sounds good. Now I'm really hungry. So
I saw a picture of that meal. It looked good.
It was good,
except for the asparagus, just because I don't like asparagus.
Oh man, dude, nobody's making it right for you.
That's no. I would. Reba is a phenomenal cook, and she cooks. I eat more vegetables now than I've eaten in most of my life.
You getting them good healthy poops from that vegetable?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Like, I eat Brussels sprouts all the goddamn time now. She uses a lot of, like, vegetable substitutes for, like, a lot of different meats. And because I grew up in the Midwest with a lot of corn. Reba cannot eat it for reasons I'm not going to go into here. So she gives me a ton of vegetable. Like, I eat a shit ton of zucchini and squash now.
Zucchini is good when
zucchini's amazing.
Like when you grill it up and throw just a little bit of salt and pepper on there. Just cut it in real thin slices on the grill.
I could do an entire show talking about how my wife is really good at the grill and I'm awful at it. But she said the same thing. She's like, "Let me cook you asparagus." She cooked me asparagus. Did not like the asparagus. So I'm pretty sure I'm the problem on that one.
Well, not everything's for everybody,
Exactly, and I'm totally fine with that.
I think the internet needs to learn that lesson, by the way.
Oh man. Oh god.
But
in more ways than one.
Oh boy, yeah.
So let's move on to Hendrix Pasternak.
Yeah.
Who asks, if you could play any instrument, what would it be?
Oh boy. I feel like a lot of people's go-to would be like guitar. But I'm gonna change it up a little bit, I think somebody who knows how to play piano is very classy. I always wanted to learn how to play piano and I never did.
That's actually my pick too. Not because I've never learned it, but it's because I feel like if you have a good sense of piano, you have a sense of a lot of the concepts that crop up in like music theory discussions, as well as like a synthesizer is basically a piano. Not that I'm saying I would want to make like, an 80s synth pop band, but you can program synthesizers to do a ton of different things. And then all of a sudden you have access to more instruments. Is it perfect? Is it, Philharmonic of whatever city you choose quality? Probably not, but you can create a more varied sound when you use a synthesizer. And that would be where I would go, because I'm pretty sure if I were to attempt to join a band with my sensibilities, I would get kicked out of a lot of bands. So yeah.
Yeah.
Piano is mine as well. Don't get me wrong, I love a good guitar solo. I would love taking aggression out on drums. But I would still choose piano just to have that broad sense of music theory that seems more inherent in piano than anywhere else. And finally, we are ending with the man, the myth, the legend, Deshaun Malone. Yo, 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 my white brethren. Keeping it classy today. What types of games have you played that you never thought you'd like?
Did you see the animated GIF from his question on Twitter, by the way?
I did, but I don't remember.
It's The Office. It's Michael Scott saying, "You're so white." It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, I love Deshaun.
Oh, man.
So, I feel like mine's gonna. I feel like I have some surprises here.
What games have you played that you never thought you'd like? Well, Fire Emblem, first of all. I'm not gonna lie to you there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a. It's why I have a hard time playing JRPGs, is because I like the action and the like shooters and Devil May Cry style games, and those types of games I really like. But just JRPGs ever since the Xbox 360 PS3 era, I just because I had a ton for PS2, I went back and played some PS1 classics and those types. But after PS2, man, I just couldn't get into any JRPGs. I play action RPGs, which are great, but Fire Emblem is and even XCOM to an extent of planning out your strategy and getting characters into position to fight. I never thought that would be my type of game, and here I am. Fire Emblem's on my Game of the Year shortlist already. So, and I'm playing them on 3DS, which 3DS games are a little easier to swallow in bite-sized form, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, strategy games are the games that I just feel like. Yeah, I guess open world games too. I always had a hard time, because every time you start a new open world game, you're like, oh my gosh, this world's going to be huge. I don't know how I'm going to walk through all of it and play all of it. I don't know if I have 60 to 100 hours to spend in this in this game. And well, Platinum Horizon and
yep.
Zelda spent 240 hours in, so
yep.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I'd like Demon Souls when I first tried it.
Did you get so when you, because everybody knows you are the resident Dark Souls man.
Yeah.
On the show, right?
Yeah.
Did you get into the series with Demon Souls or Dark Souls?
Demon Souls.
So you're an OG Souls.
Yes, I played Demon Souls first, and I actually bounced off of Demon Souls 4 or 5 times, just because I kept it was one of those things I didn't have a lot of money for games, and I wasn't buying games every week or even every month, but I was determined to do better at that game, and I could not really get a sense of it. But there was this weird allure that kept me coming back, and now I'm basically in it for life. Like I know Moose posted the fact that he got the compendium from Future Press this week. I know I got it as well, and like I love the fact that how when that arrived, Reba's like, "Oh, what was that?" I go, "It's new decoration for our house." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Well, it's a Future Press strategy guide about Dark Souls." And she's like, "Oh yeah, we'll put that around the house," because like she's incorporated that into some of our decorations, which is awesome. But I did not think I'd like XCOM when I first played it. I did not think I'd like Persona 4 when I first played it. A lot of my favorite games, maybe not, like I didn't think I'd like a roguelike when I first played it. I did not think I'd like Spelunky as much as I did because of the starting at the beginning. And that was a hard hump to really get over. But yeah, like there's been a ton of games that I've played through the sheer act of like I'm just trying something new. I actually expected to get into Supergiant's Pyre and get right out of it because there was something about it that was just really off-putting. But then I found something that I was just absolutely in love with, and I still think it's my favorite of their games. So I could literally name hundreds of games probably that I just thought I wouldn't like. And had I not tried them because I thought I wouldn't like them, I wouldn't like a lot of the games that I actually do now. And see, like I didn't play a lot of strategy games on PC, so when I got to Enemy Unknown, I was a very poor strategist when I first started playing that game. In fact, I'm probably just a slightly above a poor strategist nowadays. But that type of game has a hold on me that I will always be here for. I didn't think I'd like Into the Breach as much as I did.
Really, that game kind of seems right up your alley, though.
There was something about it. I'm like, I don't know, but yeah, no, I do love that game. Yeah, I think part of me thought I wouldn't like Spider-Man as much as I did. But that's just because that's probably more for my self-deterrent towards superhero things. I'm kind of turned off by that.
Yeah.
But and then you really think about it, most games are just hero fantasy anyway.
True.
Let's see. But yeah, like more often than not, if I'm interested in something, like the Death Stranding is coming out in November, correct?
What'd you say? Sorry, you cut out.
Death Stranding is coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out November 7th, I think.
So there are a lot of things about that game that put me off. One of which being that I'm not the biggest Kojima fan. The other being that there's no real intelligible way to describe it. Now, conversely, the latter of those is something that really pulls me towards that game, because it seems like it is a weird left turn for the medium, and like that is why I have pre-ordered that game, and that's why I'm going to play it. So more often than not nowadays, if I see something that is just actively almost disinteresting me, I will at least look at it to try and figure out why. Now there are always going to be things that I'm just not interested in just because of my own personal tastes, but like that game specifically is like, this might be just weird enough for you, Matt. So I found myself saying if there's something I actively am not gonna like, for reasons of I'm not familiar with it, or that I have never really been exposed to it before, that actually makes me more likely to play it. Like, for instance, the prospect of a new Final Fantasy game, I'm not going to get to play it. As much as I loved the first 2 Kingdom Hearts games, like, I'm not going to play 3 just because I feel like I've moved past it.
Well, plus you have, 11 games in between 2 and 3 that you missed. Missed them all. You could get the story so far and get all 47 games in one nice complete package.
This motherfucker right here.
But I'm the same way too, right? It's like, I loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and even Chain of Memories, right? Like, I played the crap out of those games, and I hate saying this, even as a huge Disney fan too, but I have zero to no interest in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And I wish I did, but I just don't.
I couldn't tell you the events of Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2. My buddy Ahmed, he's played all of them, and he knows them back and forth. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it. Because I bought the 1.5 and the 2.5 for PS3 and PS4. And I'm never going to play those games. And it's not because I think it's just because I'm not interested in that long of a commitment anymore. Now, that said, look at games that I have played and spent a ton of time with, a la the Souls series. I've spent with each Souls game, I've spent at least enough time to platinum all of those collections. And I think the difference is I found the dopamine release more rewarding in the Souls series than the idea of going back to Kingdom Hearts. So I don't know if I'm making any sense, Deshaun. I apologize if I sound like some weird rambling idiot. But we go where we go on this show, I think. But yeah, no. Yeah, I've played a lot of games that I thought I wouldn't like and ended up loving. And I'm going to continue to do that.
Me too.
I think you should too, Corey.
I am.
After all, you didn't think you'd like Dead Cells because it is such a fucking Matt game.
It's true. I still don't know how I liked that game, to be honest with you, but I did. And I actually
we just need to get you to play Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, you see, that's if I had it on Switch, I would play it, but it's also $40 on Switch. And I don't know if I can do that.
Fair.
I mean, $40 is $40.
Yeah, it's fair.
And I
challenge
Zelda.
you, sir. I challenge you to play Spelunky 2 when it comes out, because it is coming to Switch.
It is.
I like how you're looking around like, yep. It's just Matt. I can't get away from it.
No, there's a fly in here, and it's been flying around my face for
Is this not the one that you killed before we started?
I didn't kill it. It got away.
Oh, that bastard. Okay. Well,
If something goes flying or you hear a loud noise, sorry in advance.
well, Megan, Greg, Hendrix, and Deshaun, thank you so much for your questions.
I like that we have so many people like consistently writing questions in.
Me too.
And I know it's not like a lot of people, but it's a lot of the same people. And
yeah, and that's fine because, like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not open to new people because I totally am, but also like,
nope, we're closing our doors.
I like that we get a sense of who these individuals are through their questions. And like Megan has been asking us questions for a long time, as has Deshaun. Hendrix and Greg are relatively new compared to those two, but I also feel like their questions give us a window into what they think about, and I really like that. So please, if you're still here and you want to ask this question, nerdsgonerogue@gmail.com, at nerdsgonerogue on Twitter, Discord, search for Nerds Gone Rogue there. You'll find us.
Maybe.
Facebook community, facebook.com/groups, Nerds Gone Rogue community. Yeah, all that stuff. You know what? If you can ask us questions without the context of a show, we'll still just chat with you because that's what we like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a good place to bring episode 157 to a close.
Yeah, that's probably... People probably had enough of us, right?
Yeah.
An hour and a half. That's a lot of Matt and Corey. You know?
That's too much Matt and Corey.
And
too much Matt. Probably not enough Corey.
I don't know. But I talked a lot about Fire Emblem. People probably took a nap.
I mean, I get paid in 3 days, so I might have to pick that up.
Oh my gosh, we do get paid in 3 days. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get Fire Emblem on Switch.
Probably gonna pre-order Zelda and Luigi's Mansion.
Oh God, jeez.
Just to get that Band-Aid off.
That's gonna be a decision. I think I'm going to wait till November to get. When's Link's Awakening come out?
September 20th.
It'll probably be after my birthday when I get Link's Awakening then.
Yeah.
But I definitely have to get Luigi's Mansion Day 1.
Halloween.
Yeah. I can't think of a conceivable, like right now, without the 2020 of like a sitting down and making a plan. I can't think of a reason to play my PS4 anymore.
I know. I look at September, like for me, a weekend will be Gears 5 on Xbox, but that'll be like a weekend to play through the campaign, and I don't really know.
I've got Borderlands 3 and Death Stranding coming out on it, and I'm just like, I've got Binding of Isaac on Switch. I've got Luigi's Mansion coming.
I know.
If I get Fire Emblem, that's gonna be.
That's the thing. It's like I'm like honestly,
Daemon X Machina is coming out on Switch. I can't wait for that.
I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, they're like, why don't you ever on PlayStation 4 anymore? I'm like, I don't really have a reason to turn it on.
Well, I mean, and to be fair, that's kind of revisionist from both of us, because there are plenty of reasons to turn on any of our consoles.
No, I know. I just mean like right now, I'm just like Marvel and Fire Emblem, and now like Zelda and Luigi's Mansion and Dragon Quest probably at some point. Like,
yeah.
And I guess I'll bite the bullet for us and try The Witcher.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. You know what? Here's what I want you to do, Corey. Wait till that comes out.
I am.
Wait till
I'm not.
Wait till the technical people have gotten a look at that.
No, I I don't know. I don't really care.
If Digital Foundry or Ars Technica come out and say, hey, Witcher on Switch is adequate at best, then you can pull the trigger.
I mean, I still have to like tell people what to get me for my birthday and Christmas since they're so adamantly asking me every year for some reason. Birthday and Christmas, I'm like, pass.
It's kind of how I am.
Dude, it's so weird. I mean, I know we gotta wrap up, but like, Sana gets mad at me every year because I don't want to celebrate my birthday ever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, who cares?
Like, yeah, that's. I mean, I know. Like, when
buy me a pizza and dance for me so we can get it over with. What? I don't know.
I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, me neither. It's fine. She's asleep. She won't hear that. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And that's your funeral there.
Or
like yeah, I'm turning 40 this year, and I don't really care about my birthday either. Like, I found myself after the fact going, man, maybe I should have done something, but I'm never like super regretful of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's end this before we just trail off into nothing.
All right, probably a good idea.
So thank you for tuning in to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 157. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me at infinite_rewind on every social media or streaming platform I choose to be a part of. Check out our website, nerdsgonerogue.com. You'll find all of our shows. This show, Nerds Gone Platinum, the NX show, and Nerds Gone Rogue B-Sides. nerdsgonerogue.com/subscribe is where you can subscribe to everything that everyone affiliated with Nerds Gone Rogue does.
Word.
And Corey, I should probably mention, you can find our third co-host, Moose, at Sven, that's SVHENN, everywhere he wants to be. He also hosts Nerds Gone Platinum with Jason Marshall and Jeff Glasson every Tuesday night.
Never heard of him.
And we have one Nerds Gone Rogue exclusive individual in Captain Canada. This is the only place you can find him, except when he's not here, so he can't be found right now. Corey, take us home.
All right. Well, you can find me at CoreyNHD713 on Twitter, CoreyNHD on Instagram and Twitch. You can also find me various outlets on the internet doing video game stuff. So, like Matt said, check out all of our content on nerdsgonerogue.com, nerdsgonerogue.com/subscribe, and you can also watch us live there at nerdsgonerogue.com/live. Like, subscribe, and share, review, and rate us on your podcast service of choice. Remember, we're giving away Astral Chain. Details at the top of the show if you missed it. And anyways, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we love you.
Banana and out.